Qur'an says that Jesus did not die, that he was not crucified. The Bible says that he was. Jesus died on a cross. Jesus did not die on a cross. They can't both be true. So what evidence do we have to support that Jesus died on the cross? Well, let's just look at the historical evidence laid out by the Gospels. Once you can accept that the Gospels are historically reliable, and there's a lot online that you can look at to be able to find that out, let's just look at who they would have personally involved in their message of telling the account of Christ's crucifixion. They had the entire Sanhedrin. Wow, that's kind of like throwing in like, hey, all the sinners of America were there to make this decision. Those are big-name people that could easily have been found and spotted to find out, did you actually have this guy sentenced to death? Next, you have Pontius Pilate. Yeah, big name. King Herod, also really big name. I doubt that people living in the first century could have made up an account involving those two if they weren't actually involved in his sentencing and his crucifixion. You have the Roman guards that beat him and whip him and flog him. Wow. You have the executioner. I'm sure you could have asked him, hey, did you actually kill some guy named Jesus? And he was from Nazareth. There's a big sign put up above his cross saying that he was the king of the Jews. He would say, no, it never happened, or he would be able to say, yes, it did happen. You have Simon of Cyrene, who was in the area, just so happened to be forcefully grabbed and made to carry Jesus' cross the rest of the way to Golgotha, where he was crucified, because Jesus was too weak and bloody at the time to be able to continue carrying it himself. Simon of Cyrene. Go to Cyrene, find a man named Simon. I'm sure he could verify if Jesus actually made it onto the cross, if the guy actually was killed on the cross. You have John, an apostle, said he was there, said he saw it. I'm sure others there would be able to affirm, yes, John was there, John wasn't there. You had some women disciples, you had Mary, the mother of Jesus. People that would have been there could affirm, yes, they were there, no, they weren't there. After Jesus died, very interesting, we have two big names appearing that are claimed to have helped bury Jesus. That would be Joseph of Arimathea, a member of the Sanhedrin, and Nicodemus, a Pharisee. So are you going to be able to make up a name like Joseph of Arimathea in the first century if, one, this person didn't actually exist, or two, he didn't actually have an involvement with the burial of Jesus? Some people question, oh, wait, I thought the whole Sanhedrin voted to have him killed, so why would this man be involved in burying him? Well, it's very interesting. When you look into the Gospels, you find out that one of the authors actually indicate that he wasn't there at the trial. Neither was Nicodemus, also a member of the Sanhedrin. So you put that together, it becomes very clear that they intentionally weren't there because they knew it would be a unanimous vote, and they didn't want to have a part in sentencing this man to death, who likely then they believed was actually the Christ. Who else would be involved to be able to confirm if this man was Jesus or not that was killed? Well, you have the guards that were placed at the tomb. They would have been there. They would have been able to know, yes, there was a Jewish man that was crucified, that was buried. And you also then have women disciples who follow Joseph and Nicodemus to the tomb when they buried him. So you have a good number of people that would have seen this public execution, known about it. These are high-ranking officials amongst the Jews or the Romans who would have had the power, the means, and the motive to be able to show that Jesus did not actually die on the cross or did not actually then rise after being buried. So you have a lot there that would indicate that he died. And on top of that, you also have some universal sort of signs that occurred during this moment. The darkening of the sky, the sun going black. That's a pretty big public display that everyone would have seen. And we have recorded outside of the Bible that this event actually happened. That there was a darkening of the sun, an eclipse of the sun at a time where an eclipse should not have occurred. And the outside biblical sources verify that this occurred at the time of the Passover, and they even link it to Christ's crucifixion. This is even found in Chinese history from the Han Dynasty. So you have a whole lot going on to verify that Jesus died. What does the Qur'an have? You have some guy that was illiterate, that couldn't read or write, living almost 6 centuries later, who claims to have seen an angel who told him these things. Who are you going to trust? People there on the scene in the 1st century? Are you going to trust Jerusalem CSI? Or are you going to trust Muhammad in the desert, middle of nowhere, I guess Saudi Arabia? I'm in a cave and I see something that initially I'm not sure what it is, but later I come to believe to be the angel Gabriel. So there you go. You got Jesus died, Jesus did not die. Both of these religions can't be true. Christianity, completely centered on the death of Jesus Christ and his resurrection, has the goods to back it up historically. Islam, if Jesus is the Messiah, that he died and rose from the grave, then we can basically put a nail in the Qur'an and say it's not true. So there you go. I'm going to leave you at that. Let you debate, let you look into everything I shared, and hopefully you can investigate these contradictions to be able to find out the truth. Just whatever you do, don't do the silly thing of just claiming that it doesn't matter what you believe religiously or that all religions can be true.